Hello there, everybody. Sabana92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Assassination Classroom. Now, last week, aside from meeting a particular teacher that's, she's we want to avoid her, to be fair. I find myself at a loss for words, really. I mean, first two episodes, great impact. Then these episodes 3 and 4 introducing more assassins to try to teach these students and showing more of what Koro Sensei is capable of in terms of how he's like, no, I kind of already knew that you were probably just going to betray me and all that. I knew you were just messing with me. I can't believe that it actually made me worried about his own personal feelings. Needless to say, good. It's got me invested, and I think that's something that I look for in a lot of shows. It's got me invested. Now, we're still only 4 episodes in, and there's like 20-some episodes left. So it's making me wonder what exactly this show has in store. What I'm thinking, though, it's something that's kind of nagging at the back of my mind here. Like, Koro Sensei, yeah, he has his reasons, which I'm hoping to learn a little bit more about that. And why he's teaching these students. However, there's this part in the back of my head that's really making me think, like, there's an ulterior motive aside from that. Like, getting these students, I kind of touched upon this a little bit, getting the students up to the point where they are basically superior to the ones that constantly discriminate against them. Because that's one of the things that's been really grinding my gears, just seeing the loads of discrimination. And you know what? I gotta appreciate, like, what the focus at the moment right now is. It's set up a setting to where there's an obvious imbalance with the school, where a certain section of the students are looked down upon just because their grades are not the best. Which is kind of reflective of, well, most schools and... I needed a Koro sense. Anyway, what I'm thinking here is Koro Sensei is not only building up these students to be finally superior to the ones that have kicked them down, he's also technically giving them the skills to where they can effectively fight back. Now, that's not necessarily a good thing, but it's also not necessarily a bad thing. He's making the students a lot stronger. However, he is got to put this in mind here. They're kids. He's teaching these kids how to be accomplished killers, which really has me wondering, like, what exactly these students, like, they're being taught the art of killing. So, is that gonna have, like, an adverse effect on their moral compass, maybe? Because they're getting so used to the idea of killing something. As adults, there's a possibility that they may end up, kind of just, like, not hesitating, like, ah, God, this guy fucking pulled me over. All right, let's plan out. Okay, let's see, where does he live? What's his schedule? Okay, I can probably kill him like this, hide the evidence like that, and then we're good to go. It'll be a perfect killing. You guys kind of get what I'm saying, I hope. I don't know. Anyway, we got a new teacher that's going to teach them how to seduce foreigners. Okay. Which really has me wondering how the hell that's going to play out. Now that she's actively becoming a teacher this time. Instead of, you know, ignoring the obvious fact that the government literally gave her fucking bullets that could actually kill him, but no, she decided to stick to the lead. That was a moment of stupidity, but it was a very interesting moment because she kind of realized, oh shit, I'm not hot shit anymore. And let's not talk about what Koro Sensei did to her. Let's not talk about that. Besides humiliation, I feel like that's probably the better way to put it, because this is Koro Sensei we're talking about. Anyway, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what this week has in store for me. Oh, this started off as feeling like pretty... Okay. I'll summarize my feelings for this episode. First off, felt pretty good. Second, kind of was hurting. And right there at the end, pure unbridled satisfaction. So, first off, the first half, there are, I want to refer to as our A-plot for the, I hope I'm using the term correctly. Our A-plot was Okuda, I believe that's what her name was, attempting to poison him by asking nicely, for one, and she not only gets a lesson on different types of poison from the teacher himself, but also a bonus lesson about trying to pay attention to the use of language, which allows, keeps you from getting betrayed and stuff like that. I mean, I'm happy that I was able to kind of pick up on that, now that I'm kind of understanding how Koro-sensei's teachings work. Or at least how he's going about teaching students. I felt like that was pretty clever. Very much appreciated. And then we got to the assembly part. This is where a large amount of some boiling anger started to appear. First off, I will go ahead and apologize. I let my emotions kind of go a little rampant on that one. I will apologize to everybody on that. There's really no excuse for that. I need to keep a cool head whenever I'm examining this thing. Seeing on display, even more so than it was the past few episodes, the discrimination of the higher students versus the E class. Not only between not even making them pamphlets for the school assembly and all of that, but also making them all line up off to the side before everybody else to kind of put some distance between them and the upper echelon, so to speak. Very demeaning, very insulting. However, seeing that cocky demeanor kind of starting to crumble a little bit, not only whenever they get to see that, oh, E-class has a pretty cool teacher over there. What's that dude over there? And then Professor Bitch comes in, and everybody's just kind of like, what the fuck? She's hot! But one of the highlights I will give, there's like three specific highlights. The first one, obviously, with Okuda. The second one was after being mocked repeatedly and insultingly, not even giving them the papers, seeing Koro-sensei just dash in with mock speed, giving them all a piece of paper and pamphlets and all that, while in his disguise, standing up for his classmates in his own way. Good on you, Koro-sensei. Seriously, good on you, dude. Again, really reinforcing that he cares about his students. Like, he's taking his role as a teacher seriously, and I love it. And then finally, the icing on the cake, the little cherry on top, which is coming from a guy that doesn't like cherries. I consider that to be a very high honor here. The cherry on top, them threatening, yeah, you want us to kill you? And they should not have used that trigger word because they have no fucking idea what these students have been through. And seeing Nagisa stand up for himself with those eyes of bloodlust, scaring them off. So good. Finally, seeing these douchebags kind of be knocked down a peg, like, oh shit, this guy's serious. This, laying the groundwork for the discrimination of all the students. Laying the groundwork. Setting up my negative feelings for the upper echelon, and then having it culminate in this one moment where you get a glimpse of seeing them being faltered, having them be slightly kicked off of their high horses. It's a very satisfying feeling. And you want to know something? I am legitimately hoping I get to see more of this. Even if it may result in something bad, like one of the students actually killing one of the upper echelon. Even if it may lead to that, to see them getting knocked down. It's kind of like that weird, it's kind of like this weird, you live vicariously through it, because I'm pretty sure it's no surprise I was bullied and looked down on a lot in school. Granted, it was for several reasons, really. But kind of seeing and living vicariously, kind of like through this, it's an incredibly satisfying feeling. Even if it does make me sound incredibly vindictive. I will fully admit that. Which is why, thoroughly, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this a lot. Not only because, again, it's seriously hammering in that I'm repeating myself, that Koro Sensei is taking his job seriously and caring about the students. I'm repeating myself at this point. So I'm just going to end it right there. This is a very good episode. It feels like it's kind of giving me a little bit of a taste of what might come in the future. Especially considering we saw that the principal is like, wait a minute, they're confident? I can't have that. I'm going to have to make changes or something. So now I'm guessing we're going to be seeing the principal actively get involved in trying to... I'm going to break the spirit of these students, because I care about the upper echelon even more. You know? I'm kind of wondering what he's going to try to do. But we'll have to wait and see. So I'm going to go jump into the next episode, and I will see all of you guys there. Hello there, everybody. Saban92, and now we are on episode 6 of Assassination Classroom. So, last episode, aside from an adorable Okuda trying to get some... Like, hey, can you try my poison, please? That was still, like, one of the cutest fucking things I think I've ever seen so far in this, show about students wanting to assassinate people. Well, specifically assassinate their teacher, but you know what I mean. That was cute as hell. What was also really a powerful moment to me was, as infuriating as it was seeing all of Class E being looked down on, seeing not only the results of Koro Sensei's teachings kind of paying off, but also seeing the higher ups basically just kind of being knocked down a peg because they realized, oh shit, we can't. Oh no, we cannot fuck with these kids. That kid actually has some bloodlust in his eyes. Seeing Nagisa just kind of stand up to these dumbasses that kept bullying him was extremely satisfying. And it really goes to show, like, that almost every episode has really shown how much Class E is basically put down, and even the principal is like, oh god, they're disrupting the status quo. They're getting confident. They're getting cocky. Like, it really makes me wonder what the hell this principal's gonna try to attempt to do. If I didn't know any better, he's probably going to try to do something to essentially destroy the students' morale, which, I imagine that would have to be, like, make them turn against each other or something. I don't know. So, let's find out. Okay. Whew. So, a bit of an up and down on this one. The midterm exams coming up, and Koro Sensei kind of giving the students a, sort of a pep to kind of like, okay, you guys get in the top 50, and we'll continue and all that, but goddamn. The inclusion of the principal was rather effective, because you could already tell he had such a terrible pull of the entire school, with his, relatively, let's just call it what it is, toxic and wrong mindset about how he should handle a school. No amount of logic that he puts into his arguments are going to make me agree with having some students being ostracized from the rest of them just so you can have that stupid percentage rate. Instead of having a 100%, you're just going to be satisfied with 95%. I don't give two shits about the math that he's using right now. And I'm sorry, Koro Sensei being reprimanded for giving his students confidence? Like, really? I mean, it makes sense because of the stupid system that they got in place with the whole school and all that, but I'm never going to agree with it. It's still a stupid system. Even if it is effective, it's still stupid. I mean, but seeing that moment where the students were down in the dumps because they were still of the idea like, we're still in Class C, we're not going to be that good. And Koro Sensei actually giving them a little bit of a push to kind of be like, no, you guys need to do this. You can actually, let's make you all like the best. And then that terrible twist of really just showing how scummy the school in general is, by intentionally screwing up the test so that they are not able to get into the top 50, keep them below. That was so unabashedly just scummy. And it really goes to show how deep the corruption of that entire system is. Which really reaffirms my idea that Kororo Sensei is here to kind of help destroy that system, which is why he's teaching Class E. And I'm all for it. I'm totally for it. I don't care if the plan is going to be destroyed at this point. I'm totally supporting Kororo Sensei on this. And that last minute twist of Karma actually doing like the best right there, highly appreciated. And the fact that he doesn't want to leave the class because assassinating is more fun. Yeah, that was really good. Also, seeing the other teachers just kind of be like, okay, I really don't agree with this. Why are you doing this? Like, kind of seeing that they weren't in agreement with that sort of thing, too. That was relatively appreciated, because they're kind of like, initially I put them as like, they were kind of leaning toward the system itself. Now they're kind of sort of in a middle area, right between the system and Kororo Sensei. It's a very weird alignment, you know? So, that was really good. That was really good. It's really got me hyped and hoping that they're able to finally wipe the smirks off of all of those upper echelon students by all scoring in the top 50. I would love to see that. I want to see them actually succeed and just beat them all down! Regardless, I would say that this was a pretty darn good week. It felt like it was definitely much more focused on all of the students as a whole this time, as well as definitely putting a very heavy focus on the discrimination that they face because of the school system in place. And again, one of my favorite highlights is just that moment in the auditorium where they have no papers, and Kororo Sensei's like, fuck you, you're making fun of my students, I got their papers for them. Like, that was good. Just seeing that entire segment of them just having been broken down was extremely satisfying. Very much so. I love the show. I'm definitely looking forward to watching more, and I'm definitely looking to see how Kororo Sensei actually further helps the students become the best students they can possibly be, aside from being assassins, you know what I mean? And what would be really satisfying is seeing the principal just being dumbstruck, or just having his entire world crumble around him. But there's one thing that really has me wondering. That whole thing about calling him a savior that fell into the role of a villain. That right there, that's got me really curious. But anywho, thank you all very much for watching. If you all like this, be sure to let me know. And I will definitely see all of you guys in the next video. Tentacles do not lie.